A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant escalation of tensions in the Middle East, Iran is contemplating the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway described as the world's most important oil transit chokepoint. This alarming development was reported by the Iranian news agency IRIN and comes in the wake of intensifying conflicts involving Israel. The Strait of Hormuz, which serves as the only marine entryway into the Persian Gulf, is bordered by Iran on one side and Oman and the United Arab Emirates on the other. It connects the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman and, ultimately, the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, approximately 20% of global oil consumption transits through this narrow strait, underscoring its strategic importance to global trade and energy security. At its narrowest point, the Strait of Hormuz measures only 33 kilometers, 21 miles, wide, with even narrower shipping lanes that are vulnerable to military threats and potential closures. Historically, the strait has been a flashpoint during conflicts, notably during the Iran-Iraq War from 1980 to 1988, when both nations targeted commercial vessels in a series of attacks known as the Tanker War. Despite the hostilities, the strait was never fully closed. More recently, in 2019, tensions escalated when 4 ships were attacked near the strait, leading to accusations against Iran by the United States, which Iran vehemently denied. The use of attacks on shipping lanes has been a tactic employed by Iran to exert pressure during times of conflict. In the current climate, following the outbreak of war in Gaza, the Houthis in Yemen have also been targeting vessels near the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, a crucial entry point into the Red Sea. However, unlike the Red Sea, there are no alternative maritime routes for ships leaving the Gulf, making the Strait of Hormuz indispensable for global oil exports. Should Iran proceed with its threat to close the strait, the ramifications would be felt worldwide. Even nations that do not import oil from the Gulf region would experience the fallout, as a significant reduction in oil supply would lead to skyrocketing prices per barrel on the global market. Despite the provocative statements from Iranian lawmakers, it remains uncertain whether Iran possesses the capability or the political will to execute such a drastic measure. A closure of the Strait of Hormuz would almost certainly provoke a military response from the United States, which maintains a naval presence in the region. Tensions have further escalated following a series of Israeli airstrikes targeting Iranian military leaders and strategic assets. Iran's retaliatory actions included launching hundreds of ballistic missiles, with the U.S. intervening to intercept some of these projectiles. Importantly, U.S. officials have clarified that Washington was not involved in the Israeli strikes, and Tehran has refrained from directly targeting American forces in the region. However, the potential closure of Hormuz could have severe economic implications for the U.S., leading to increased fuel prices and possibly triggering a military response. The backdrop of these tensions saw the Iranian armed forces seizing a container ship near the Strait of Hormuz in April 2024, following a deadly Israeli attack on Iran's consulate in Damascus, Syria. This incident marked one of the most serious direct military confrontations between Israel and Iran in recent years, highlighting the precarious situation in the region. The impact of escalating tensions has already been felt in global oil markets, with Brent crude prices reaching a peak of $78.50 per barrel, the highest level since January. Following the Israeli strikes on Iran, prices surged by $4.68 in a single day, settling at $74.04. Analysts warn that if the Strait of Hormuz were to close, we could see Brent crude prices soaring to as high as $120 per barrel, disrupting millions of barrels of daily oil shipments and leading to widespread economic consequences. Such a price spike would have a ripple effect across global economies, inflating fuel costs and impacting various sectors, including transportation and food production. Countries heavily reliant on oil imports, such as Turkey and Spain, could face historic increases in pump prices, exacerbating inflationary pressures and threatening economic growth. As the conflict continues, some investors are turning to safe haven assets like gold, which has seen an increase in value amid the uncertainty. Meanwhile, Russia, despite its own economic challenges, could potentially benefit from higher oil prices, with each $5 increase significantly boosting its export revenues. The global stock markets have reacted to the turmoil, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropping by 1.79% as broader economic concerns loom. Energy traders are on high alert, closely monitoring developments in the region for any signs of further escalation. While some experts suggest that the situation could stabilize, as seen in previous clashes between Israel and Iran, any disruption to the Strait of Hormuz has the potential to trigger catastrophic economic consequences worldwide. The stakes are undeniably high as the world watches and waits to see how this geopolitical crisis unfolds. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.